we go. So welcome to our Zoom meeting for, let's see, May May 12th, 2015. And it is the Beal Healthy Game Team, or whatever it is. Beal Team Healthy Games. Week 2, anyway.
Healthy Beals.
The Healthy Beals, right. Anyway, yeah, the mind is so interesting, and we all have.
Hey Lydia, how are you?
Sorry. We have two brains. You guys know this. We have the animal brain, which is the animal instincts of hunger and different things. Also, I don't know. It's kind of the brain that drives us crazy. It's just a natural brain that it chatters to us all the time. And, you know, I mean, it's the one that says, Larry, you are watching TV. This is a time for popcorn. This is a time for soda pop. This is what makes TV worth watching. You know, this crazy, crazy brain that is lying to you, you know. Anyway, it's the monkey mind. It's the animal brain. And what you're trying to do is shut that stuff off and think about, bring it to your logical brain.
Prefrontal cortex.
Yeah. So add stuff.
I guess the most embarrassing part of it is the other night, I felt like eating something, so I thought, well, I'll eat one of my meal replacement bars, and it's only 100 calories, and we'll do it. And I ate that, and then half hour later, I ate another one, and a half hour later, I went through 2 days worth of meal replacements while I sat there, and then afterwards I thought, oh, can't believe this.
And it doesn't feel very good because those things are power packed.
Well, and the thing is that I guess psychologically I'm thinking, or something was telling me, well, it's okay because these are part of the plan. Part of the, yeah. And I just.
Okay, how many here have ever eaten more than one meal replacement at one sitting? How many have eaten more than 2? How many have eaten more than 3? You know, I have. I've done it, Larry. You're not alone. It is a crazy thing we're dealing with, you know. Yeah. So
that's an awful expensive snack.
I know, right. But it doesn't. You know what? Your monkey mind doesn't tell you that.
I know.
That's your logical mind. When you get it in your prefrontal cortex, then you will stop because it's kind of an expensive snack. So anyway, but yeah, it's something that we definitely deal with. Hey, welcome to Barb and Robin.
Hi.
Hi.
So we are talking about the two brains that we have. The monkey mind that just...
Or for some of us, the half a brain we have.
And then the other one, which is our logic, and the one that helps us, you know, accomplish great things and helps us, you know, think right and reach goals and I don't know, how would you describe it?
Oh, I think just that allows you to do the things that you know you want to do to move forward and to be the kind of person you want to be. So Larry, when you're at that moment, you've probably had times of success where you've been able to stop, challenge, and choose, in the words of Dr. A. Are there some cool tricks that you could share with the rest of us? And they might be so customized to you that maybe they wouldn't resonate with us, but I think it helps to discover some things that can help us.
Well, I think the trick that you had pointed out a couple of challenges ago maybe is to have a picture or something handy or within sight of the goal of what you want. And I think that would help. And I don't have one close. Is what the problem was. but I have to keep going out and looking at the picture of the well-defined physique and some of those things that I fantasize about someday being there. And I think that helps. That has been an inspiration to me to either be around people like that or to have something like that to keep
Right.
reminding me that's where I want to be.
And it would be really great if it were 100% effective, that it always pulled you out.
Right.
I acknowledge that, wow, sometimes it's a crazy struggle
Yeah.
that doesn't really make sense.
Well,
Sometimes,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes,
I
you
was
can tell
gonna
us
say-
your tricks.
sometimes you eat before you even think about the stop. You know, you're in the process of getting it down before you even think, oh, I was supposed to stop.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, and there have been times when I have sat there feeling guilty and knowing full well that I was doing the wrong thing, and I did it anyway. You know, it's like I couldn't talk myself out of it.
It's just out of
I
spite.
want it, you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat it.
Well, I did it anyway, and
And
then
it's,
later you think, I've got to quit this. I can't do that again.
and it's become so illogical sometimes too, doesn't it? I know with me.
Yeah, crazy.
Doesn't make sense.
And I think that, you know, it helps to get beyond the fact that you're filled with guilt or that you're so stupid or whatever, because then food just becomes such a deprivation thing if you go without.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
that's not perpetuating good habits either.
It is something that all of us deal with, right? Everybody here.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do you do, Barb? How do you get out of it?
Sometimes I don't.
But what have you found that works sometimes? And
Sometimes I found if sometimes when I think I'm really hungry, I'm really thirsty. So I make myself drink one of those bottles of water, and then the other thing, I try to go do different that I don't usually do. I either go outside or, I don't know, draw something or just do something different, because I can walk in the kitchen and say, I'm not going to eat this. All morning long I do really great, and then I walk in at noon and everything that's sitting there I ate. So you
yeah,
got away from it somehow, I guess, and
yeah, that's great.
yourself out of it. And you can sometimes, but then sometimes you do twice as bad afterwards.
It's true. How about you, Robin? What works for you?
Well, sometimes it doesn't either, but like last night I was tempted to want a snack, and then I kept telling myself, you're gonna be disappointed in yourself in the morning, because at the moment it's too gratifying, you know.
Yeah.
And so I talked myself out of it. But I also have a pair of pants I want to fit into that I have hanging up so I can see it. So that visual you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who used to carry her picture around of when she was thin. So then whenever she felt tempted, she would get the picture out and look at it. Okay, I'm going to do this. And she did. She looks great. So, and another, you know, sometimes I'll buy zero water, and then that will help
Yeah.
curb appetite too for a while.
Yeah.
But I really am liking the MetaFast plan, because I like that even though it's little bits, I'm liking that I could eat every 2 or 3 hours, even though it's a little bit, but I like it.
Yeah, that's great. Sheila, you didn't tell what works for you, because you're having great success.
I think it's kind of what Robin says. You know, you have to look at, let's say it's a candy bar, and you look at it and you think, what difference is it going to make tomorrow? I won't remember eating it, but my body will remember eating it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, you know, if I can stop myself and tell myself that, you know what, tomorrow it will mean nothing, except it will mean something on the, you know, as far as my body goes.
Yeah.
Cool. And in at least one of our readings, in this challenge, in the health games, Dr. A has said that if we can think of creating something, have it be a positive thing, the body that we want, the pants that we want to fit into or whatever, rather than beat ourselves up with what we want to get rid of. We want to get rid of those 7 pounds or those 47 pounds or whatever. That beats us up, it seems like. And if we can think instead of the positive result of that, that we can climb up that mountain much faster than we have for years and years, and find satisfaction in fitting into those pants.
Yeah.
The positive versus negative.
And sometimes just like somebody was saying, Barb, changing your activity, Larry, even if you don't want to get up, do it anyway. Or another thing you can say is, you know what? If I still want that in 10 minutes, I'm going to have it. You know, and then busy yourself doing something, but you put it off. It's kind of like when you're at a party and you're trying not to eat the wrong stuff and the hostess is there kind of like, try my pie, and you think, oh, you know what, maybe I will a little later, you know, but that putting it off and just saying, okay, I'll wait for 10 minutes, and if I, or 15, and if in 15 minutes I still want it, well, have it. But at least, you know, you gave yourself a few minutes to think. Because that's, I love what you said, Sheila. You know, you think about it as it's in your mouth and you think, oh, darn, I wasn't going to do that. But anyway, it is a challenge. It's a big, big challenge, and it's all about the mindset. We know what the good habits are, no question about it. We really do. But the getting a hold of our mind and bringing it along and recognizing that we have control. Okay, there's a book, and I've recommended it to many people. It's called Brain Over Binge, and it talks about those two brains. And it is extremely, extremely powerful and helpful in helping you.
Who's the author?
Who's it by, David?
Oh, that one. You know, that one.
You could probably post it and we can get it up.
Yeah,
That's a good
I'll
idea.
post it on our team
Yeah.
wall. Yeah, it is just a great, great book. And it's a girl who, she does binge, and I don't know that any of us are bingers, even if we eat 5 Metafast bars.
She gives new definition to binging.
Yeah.
Wow, scary.
Yeah.
You know?
Barb, you've been reading that book, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. Anyway, but it will give you a perspective of this animal brain and what it says to you, and how you can really control a lot of that. Let's see, I gotta cut this. Okay. Anyway, so it's that's a good recommendation. But I think just kind of, you know, like you say, having the creating something, getting something in front of you, having some little key word for you that is, you know, okay, I want that candy bar. I'll check back in 10 minutes if I still want it, you know.
Set the alarm on your cell phone or something.
And just don't let yourself, try to busy yourself with other things, and, you know.
You know what? Really busy, hungry.
What'd you say?
If you're really, really busy, you aren't hungry.
No,
Right.
that's why I do so good on weekdays.
You're so busy. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the weekends that are killers.
I remember back in the day when I used to do Weight Watchers, that they had you had to take all these vegetables. You had to do these vegetables. And I used to always say to myself, okay, when I do all the things that are required of me, like it was 5 helpings of vegetables. If you've had all 5 helpings of vegetables, then you can have a treat. Anyway, playing dumb games with yourself really it's just a way of kind of warding off that craving and that monkey mind that's chattering to you. And, you know, you can just say, hey, yeah, you know, I do want that chocolate cake, and I do want this, and tell your husband or something, or wife, to just say, hey, listen to what my crazy brain is saying. It's saying, I hope you go to the gym so that I can get that ice cream out and eat it. And I hope you stay long enough so that I can eat that chocolate cake too. And that's what my brain's saying. And anyway, by verbalizing it, this chatter. In fact, try to listen this week to the chatter of your brain and recognizing that it is not you. It is not you thinking about what you want. It's your brain chattering. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big difference. Instead of planning and creating, like David was saying, the creating, that is not animal brain. That is real great thinking. So you should tell them your example. I think this is an awesome example of how to change chatter to, or emotion, whatever it is, from your what's it called, the
limbic brain.
limbic brain. Did we already talk about this?
We didn't say the word limbic all that much, but
Yeah.
you're talking the animal brain. Which
Yeah,
is the
and
same.
how you got over something. It was kind of fun. You're singing.
Oh, okay. Because this limbic brain is driven by emotion, and we call it the animal brain sometimes. And I'm sure that the real scientists might bicker with some of the words that we're using. But something that we had heard in a presentation about the two brains was called the limbic brain, the emotional brain. And so I experimented with something that was nothing at all related to weight loss or maintenance of health by any means. I was singing a song. I love to sing. And so I am one of these people that all I have to do is to think an emotional thought and my voice is gone. It just warbles away, so that you don't have the power behind it that you'd love to have to communicate the spirit of the song. And it's been one of those big challenges in my life that, darn it, just when you wish that you could soar, you don't. And, and I'm not ashamed of the tears, but once in a while you just want to not cry. So I was singing, and it was with the choir, it was not a solo. But I just felt the emotions taking over. And it had just been the day before, I think, that we'd heard this thought about the limbic brain being in charge of emotions. And I thought, well, I am going to get over this. And so I thought, I visualized my prefrontal cortex. And I thought, I want to do what I want to do. I don't want the emotions to take over. I want to sing with power and love, And it worked. It was amazing. And yet, this works in spaces other than when you're talking about cookies and pizza. And I just thought that was so powerful for me. I wish I would have discovered the trick
A long time ago.
Years ago, yeah.
Wouldn't it have been convenient? But anyway,
Because he just barely retired from that choir. Oh my God.
But I've stayed humble, shall we say, and so that's good too.
But experiment. I mean, really, you can take control over things that you didn't think you could have control over. So
Quite interesting.
I've often wondered how performers, sometimes you'll see them on videos, tears streaming down their face and singing beautifully.
I so envy that. I can't think of anything I envy more than that.
My voice begins to do the same thing. If I think too much about the words or the meaning of what you're singing, then it takes over, like you said. Yeah.
that's funny.
I'm about to practice that.
Yeah.
See if I can overcome.
So anybody else have anything we want to talk about? I mean, this is kind of I like this subject because it is so key to having health for the rest of our life, and key to getting over the diet mentality if you've been dealing with it. A lot of people that go on our program don't really have it. They just gain some baby weight or something. They haven't fought it for years. If you've fought it for years, then you've got a lot of emotions tied up in it. And so you have to untie those things and unlock the key to health.
And I think, and this is kind of the same thing I said a minute ago, but a little different. I spent so much of my life without exercise and without eating correctly, being overweight, at least for 30 years of my life, probably more.
Not super overweight, but just enough.
But definitely in the overweight category, And so after a while, after years and years of it, then you just think, well, I'm unhealthy. I'm fat. I'm undisciplined. I don't exercise. I'm not one of those guys that can exercise. Well, it's so empowering to say, I'm a healthy guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes a marvelous predictor of the healthy person that you can become.
Huh. Not too long ago, go ahead.
Oh, that's fine.
Not too long ago, we heard this lady talk. She's actually a singer, but you'll remember Sheila Hillary Weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And she talked about positive thinking and how she had 5 adjectives to describe herself. Something like I'm
Courageous.
Yeah. What did she say? Do you remember, Sheila? I'm courageous.
I can't remember what she said, but courageous is one of mine.
And healthy and happy and use my time well and something else. Anyway, she had these 5 things, and she said those over and over in the day. If she was in the car, she said, I am smart, I am courageous, I am healthy, I am, just kept reminding her, I am powerful, I obey my commands or whatever. So that's just something that I haven't done, but I've been wanting to do, just to remind ourselves who we are. We have such great capacity. All we have to do is make that decision and remember it, right? Anyway.
Yeah.
So fun talking to you guys. Okay, speak. Anybody have anything they want to add or conclude with? Barb, anything?
No, but I'm about out of power, so if I just leave, that's why.
All right, we're going to end in 1 second here. How about you, Robin? Anything for you?
No, this has been great though. Thank you.
Yes, some great
nice
thoughts.
to have you. Larry, any parting words?
Well, in spite of my breakdown in discipline, I was really worried because I'd gained back over the course of a week or 10 days. I'd gained back almost 3 pounds, and so I was really frustrated about that. And after one of those days when I didn't do so well, the next morning I was down 2.5 pounds, and I couldn't figure that out.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's a delay with what you're doing. It caught up with me one time, and then other things I've done. But anyway, it just seems odd.
Yeah.
The little gain and loss on a daily basis. I think you have to get over that. Oh, I've gained a pound. Oh, I'm lost. Or things are terrible. And one of the videos or one of the readings suggested only weighing once a week.
Right.
Because otherwise you get caught up into this daily up and down the water weight or whatever, and you can frustrate yourself or get a false sense of accomplishment and relax then, and then it catches up with you real fast. So
that is so me. That is so me. Sheila, maybe you could explain what that physiology is on that.
I don't know.
She's a nurse. But yeah, isn't that funny? But I agree, man. Even on the meltdown challenges, if I say that I want to lose weight, it is like Satan himself comes down and says, you're not going to do it. So if I put maintain and I lose, I'm happy to lose my money if I lose.
Mhm.
But it's a mental game. It's just a crazy, crazy thing. Isn't that funny? Anyway, you guys, everybody, you guys all made great comments.
Thank you for joining our fortress.
Sheila,
Thank you.
We heard that word lately, didn't we, from Kim Fisk. We bring that name out once in a while.
the fortress.
She talks about this fortress. She used to call it one of these gatherings, health church. You know, how you go to church so that you keep hearing the same thing over and over again. She says, well, church has had the wrong implication in some people's minds. And so It's now called a fortress.
This is a
So
fortress, the Zoom call.
thank you for coming to our fortress because you have made us better because of it as
You
well.
fortified us, and hopefully we're fortifying you.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, you guys take care. Thank you, and we will see you online.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks.
See ya. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.